welcome back to A Vintage Vanity, and I'm really excited because look who I have with me. It's Mandie Bee from one of my favorite clothing designer stores is Heartbreaker Fashion. As you guys know, you've seen it in a ton of lookbooks now. And she agreed to sit down and kind of chat with me all about Heartbreaker and about herself as well. And I'm super excited to do this. So I'm just gonna shut up so she can start talking because you always hear me. First off, is really how did Heartbreaker get started? I know that you opened and founded the business, what, about 7 years ago?
Almost 8 now.
Almost 8?
2005.
With your mom. So how did that all get started?
There's kind of two stories. One is sort of like what was going on in my life at the time, and then also what my mother was doing with her students. I think she was teaching at Mount Sac. She had a group of fashion students. What I was doing at the time, gosh, I was a sophomore in college, and I was trying to make a little bit extra money. At first, I was doing a lot of like buying and selling of vintage clothing, which is kind of how this all began. I sold a lot on eBay. And then eventually I started making my own clothing. I'd make it for myself, I'd wear it like maybe once or twice, go out on a weekend, whatever. And then I would sell that piece on eBay and be like, one of a kind, you know, and then soon enough people wanted to make custom orders with me. So that's how that began. At the same time, my mother was teaching this class, and one of their projects was to like pick a genre or pick like a style group and to create their fashion boards and like create like all the merchandise that you put into a store, basically. And her students were complaining, they're like, oh, this is so hard, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, why don't you do it? She's like, fine, I will. So she focused on the 1950s. And so she kind of created her own fashion board and saw what I was doing. She's like, wait a minute, we're like doing basically the same thing.
Obviously, it sounds like you had kind of a love of vintage for a while now, because that's where it started out with. But how did that, like everybody has like that vintage story journey, how did yours start?
When I was like a young teenager, like 13, 14, I really got into ska music. The whole ska boom in Orange County was really popular, and I would go to shows and I would see what other people were wearing. And like almost any music scene, like there's some fashion influences as well. And like, you know, the rockabilly scene, the ska scene, like the punk rock scene, like girls that were getting dressed, every now and then you'd see a girl in a vintage dress and you're like, what's that about? Or you would really recognize like very obvious 1950s look from like the movie Grease or something like that. So like just understanding what people were wearing to those types of events, because that was like my social outlet aside from seeing people in high school. You know, understanding that, and then like searching things on the internet, you know, 1950s fashion on Google, just whatever I could find, and then understanding the aesthetic. And then becoming like, you know, just slowly adding that to my own like fashion sense as I got older.
As well with Heartbreakers, you have different lines. You have what I would assume is the main Heartbreaker line, then you have the Mandie Bee line, which I'm assuming is named after this one here. And then you have Adorable Ava Adorable and Heartbreaker Haute. And is that kind of how you've been addressing that other, like kind of playing with other styles by putting them into different lines?
Yeah.
And what do you see is the difference between all lines?
Well, Heartbreaker, like you said, is the main line. That's like, you know, the heart of everything. It's the big umbrella. And Mandie Bee is, like I said, I'm trying to incorporate more, you know, mod styles like 1960s, a little more like younger, youthful, playful, just fun, but still has that vintage kind of look to it. Heartbreaker Haute, on the other hand, well, I should say Mandie Bee is like, that's what I design, like by myself. My mother handles Heartbreaker Haute. She's looking at a little bit more expensive fabrics. She adds more detail to the designs. The skirts are more full than the Heartbreaker one. It's a higher price point too. So, and maybe like, could be even like an older customer as compared to Heartbreaker, like when we're thinking about our customer bases. And then Ava Adorable, we named after my niece, my brother's daughter, Ava. So, and long ago, my mom had a children's store. It was a mother-daughter clothing store. Same kind of business as we do here, but it was mostly children's clothing. So she understands how to design for kids' clothes too.
Heartbreaker Fashion, how'd you come up with that name?
I'll be completely honest with you. I came up with the name because I had a lot of boyfriends and I broke up with them. So I was the heartbreaker.
I love that.
Yeah. Yes, there's that little backstory I just told you. But the whole idea, like a girl in a heartbreaker dress, like they're very feminine. You know, it's for the girl that wants to feel and look beautiful. And like men are gonna notice you. And you were somewhat unattainable. You were the heartbreaker.
I like that.
Yeah.
Hard one. This is gonna be like, I'm gonna ask her to like choose her baby. What's your favorite piece right now and why? She hates me just a little bit right
That's
now.
hard. I want to like go through my old. Actually, I'm totally happy about my Ella tops in my line. It's a little button-up shirt with the bow tie.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, a lot of people freaking out about them, but
Yeah.
I love those tops. And also my Doreen dress. I don't know if you've seen that. It's like it looks like a shift dress, and it has little pockets. It's a mini dress.
Yes.
Yes. Of course not. And then the Heartbreaker line, we've got a lot of really cute new styles that have been coming out. I think the Maybelline dress is my favorite right now for the summer because it's real like easy, it's open, it's a nice sundress. I can wear a bra with it. It's got pockets. I think I made a mini video about it. I'm like, this dress is awesome, you guys, seriously.
If somebody is not familiar, maybe we're introducing a few people right now to Heartbreaker. So if somebody's new and they're looking at your website, what piece would you think is like the signature Heartbreaker piece to get them started on their collection?
I would say the Sweetie dress. I'm actually wearing it right now. This has been in our line since day one practically, but it's, you know, real classic style. It has a full skirt, princess seams. And then the next one might be the Beverly dress. Yeah, those two pieces are our #1 sellers. Are also like the best fitting garments. Like no matter what size you are, like every girl loves those two particularly.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Your clothes fit extremely well.
My mom is the one that's responsible for that, working in the industry for so many years. She knows what to do when it comes to dress design and making something fit. I mean, there's a reason why. Like one of our #1 comments and like compliments is the fit of our dresses. So we're pretty confident with that. And we make all of our own patterns here too, which are also, the sizing is universal. So if you buy a Sweetie dress in size medium, you're probably gonna get a size medium in everything else.
Who are kind of your style icons that you look to?
That's a hard thing to
I know.
answer.
I know.
Because I really don't follow any one particular person. I'm more so influenced by the aesthetics of things.
Okay.
You know, so if I'm at a show, for example, like if I'm at a reggae show or if I'm at like a jazz concert, I look at the people around me and like what the ladies are wearing. I'm like, she's well dressed. I don't know what she's doing, but okay. Like I just sort of pay attention to what's going on in that scene. And then I really like to use Tumblr. It's kind of like my morning cup of visual coffee. Because every morning I get in, I open that, and I just sort of like scroll for like a minute or two. And I follow a lot of people's like fashion blogs. Vintage Vandalism is one.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of who else it might be. There's a couple like mod girl blogs I follow, but just paying attention. And then like vintage photography too, old fashion ads. That's basically it. I can't say there's one person in particular.
So really, what you're saying is we are your style icons.
Yes. Yes, you are. Everything you're doing, I'm paying attention.
She's watching. So one of the things that I really, really enjoy about the Heartbreaker dresses is the sheer variety that you have as far as sleeves go. Because some dresses have like little cap sleeve, little 3/4 length sleeve. Because sometimes some of us aren't so comfortable showing our arms, you know, or wearing something that's a little more open across the top, and I think the variety that you have is great.
Yeah, and I was also going to mention we have a couple different cover-ups, but one of our most popular one is the Betty Bolero, and that one's really great because it covers your arms, but it also in such a way is open that you can still see what's going on with the dress. So it's not covering up the top like girls that want the Sweetie dress, for example, but they don't want to show their back or their arms. The Betty Bolero is a really good option because it covers just here.
Say somebody out there is very new to the vintage style. What do you think would be a good way for someone to get into it, or maybe an essential piece they should have in their closet?
I think every girl needs a really good pencil skirt. definitely, because you can pair that with so many blouses, you know, whatever it may be, if you're going to work or if you're going out for the night. Like, pencil skirt is definitely a good staple to have. And then maybe also either an A-line skirt or a circle skirt, like a full skirt, same idea. And then thereafter, get crazy, have fun.
All right, so we're gonna wrap things up real quick with just a quick little game of this or that, I guess you could call it. So I'm just gonna throw out a couple of things. I'm just gonna throw out a couple combinations and just pick one right off the top of your head. All right, Hepburns, Kate or Audrey?
Audrey.
James Dean or Jimmy Stewart?
Jimmy Stewart, because he reminds me of my boyfriend.
Oh my gosh.
It's true.
That's kind of awesome. Marilyn or Jane Mansfield?
Jane Mansfield. So.
No, I knew you're not alone there. Frank Sinatra or Elvis?
Oh, that's hard.
I didn't say they're gonna be easy.
I have a story about the whole Elvis thing because I grew up like infatuated with Elvis. So I'm gonna go with Elvis, but I am a Frank Sinatra fan too.
Awesome.
But yeah.
I think we know what the answer on this one's gonna be. 1940s or 1950s?
1950s. 1960s.
Heels or flats?
Me personally, heels because I'm tall and I want to be comfy, but heels all the way because I like the aesthetic of a heel. And other girls that rock them. Yes, keep doing it. I can't.
Skirts or dresses?
Dresses.
Swing or rock and roll?
Both together.
Best combination ever. All right, and the last one, the most important one, Fred Astaire or Gene Kelly?
Gene Kelly.
She passed. It wasn't a test though.
A+, I win.
A+, yay. All right, thank you so much for doing this. I had so much fun. I hope you guys really enjoyed getting to know Mandie and Heartbreaker a little bit better. And as always, go ahead, check out the links in the description to Heartbreaker Fashion if you have never been over there. And get some Kleenex nearby because you're going to drool all over the dresses because they're so pretty. So as always, if you're new to a vintage vanity, go ahead and click subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section below letting both of us know how much you liked this interview. And as well, click the thumbs up, and that's the easy way to let us know. I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.